Hey friends, welcome back to the channel. After polling my audience over on my Instagram about what they would rather hear me talk about Tenet this week or next step in our Lord of the Rings series, as you can probably see from behind me, we're going to be talking about Tenet. So, without further ado, let's get this intro out of the way and jump right in. Welcome once again, my name is Austin, and this channel is all about digging deeper and going further to better understand faith and film and everything that's in between. If that's exciting to you, make sure you click that subscribe button down below so you don't miss out on any new videos. If you've been following my channel for some time, you know I took a week off last week. It was just an exhausting week and it was much needed. But I am back and ready to start kicking. We're about ready to wrap up September and then we're going to move into October, which is very exciting. I'll share more about that at the end of this video. But you're here to hear my thoughts on Tenet. So before I get too deep into things, I feel that before I can properly give a thorough ranking and real actual significant rating on this movie, I'm going to need to see it at least one more time. So I'll definitely give you my thoughts, do my best to kind of rank it and rate it and whatnot, but this is a movie that really needs to be seen more than once, and I've only had the opportunity to see it once so far, so keep that in mind as I share about this. Even after only one viewing, there is no denying that this film is masterful in many different ways. The filmmaking is astounding, the storytelling is incredibly well done, and without a doubt, this has to be Nolan's most complex film to date. And that is not a nick, that is a compliment. Even though I feel like I spent probably the first 30 minutes of the movie feeling like I was completely lost, I was enjoying every minute of it. I don't consider it a knock on any movie, especially this one, to say a movie can require multiple viewings to fully understand. You shouldn't be able to fully comprehend and understand and appreciate a movie just after one viewing. There's definitely a very powerful effect on understanding that can take place after one viewing, but I just feel like some of the best movies need to be seen multiple times to truly appreciate and understand, and this film is no different. Even after the movie finished and the people I went with and I spent an hour-long drive home dissecting it and talking about it, we still don't fully understand the film, and that is okay. I completely respect a movie that you get something new out of every time you watch it. Okay, now let's talk about the action some, then a little bit of the soundtrack, the story, some of my mixed negative feelings on the movie, and then we'll wrap things up. Action and set piece wise, I spent each and every one of these scenes going, how did they do that? How on earth did they do that? How do you record action going forward while you record action going backwards and simultaneously run the two together seamlessly? I don't know, but Christopher Nolan found a way to do it. Every action set piece is phenomenal, and the ones including inversion were absolutely mind-blowing. This is, without a doubt, some of the most well-directed action cinematography that I've seen. And to complement that action, the soundtrack is incredible. I did not realize how much I would appreciate and enjoy the soundtrack. Since I've seen the movie, I've probably listened to the soundtrack almost 10 times. It is bold and brutal, adding even more tension on top of the already exhilarating action scenes. And this is a soundtrack I loved. I would have been curious to see what Hans Zimmer would have done with it, but I would much rather hear what Hans Zimmer is doing with Dune and appreciate and love what this composer did with Tenet. If I could choose between hearing what Hans Zimmer would have done for this movie and what he's going to do for Dune, I am much more interested what he's going to be doing for Dune than this one. All that to say, I loved this soundtrack. I love what the composer did. The way it enhances the action and the storytelling is incredible. Now, the storytelling. This is the aspect of the movie that I feel that multiple viewings will aid the most in. It is by no means poor, but it is very complex and has many twists and turns along the way. There were moments where I felt that what was happening or was about to happen could have been a little better explained, but overall you get what you need when you need it. The acting from John David Washington and Robert Pattinson is great. They have excellent on-screen chemistry, the way their characters go back and forth as John David Washington's, the protagonist, is trying to understand what this inversion concept is and how to take advantage of it, while Robert Pattinson, along the way, is involved in different ways that I won't get into because I want to keep this spoiler-free. Kenneth Branagh makes a great villain. He's a little over the top and cheesing it up at times, but it's never unbelievable or too much in my opinion. And many of the secondary characters, I don't know the actress's name, but the character of Kat, very, very good job. I loved her character as well. Now, I will address the elephant in the room of Christopher Nolan's audio decisions. This is, in my opinion, the only thing that kind of detracts from the movie at times. Parts of this may have been the theater I was in. I definitely feel like it was an IMAX theater that we went to, but I think the theater had the bass turned up just a bit too much. And that definitely impacted the film because there's a lot of heavy, deeper tones in both the music and a lot of the audio that's happening on screen. So I won't fully fault the movie for this, as it definitely, I feel, was partially because of the bass being turned up a little too much in our theater. But not dubbing audio is something that Christopher Nolan is known for. So in a lot of his movies, there are scenes that are a bit hard to distinguish every word that was said because a lot of it is just, it's all captured in camera and he doesn't like dubbing his audio. So I can respect that and I really appreciate that everything is captured within camera, but there are definitely scenes that my wife leaned over to me a couple times, what'd they say to her? And I don't know. I can make a best guess. I got the gist of what was being said, but I definitely did not catch everything. I will say this is probably, of Christopher Nolan's film, the one that struggles in this area the most, but again, it's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just a decision that he has made for his movies that sometimes has a somewhat detracting impact on the film. It did cause me to feel like I might have missed a few important lines of dialogue in scenes where a lot was going on amongst the characters while they're having discussions and conversations about different things to do with the story. All that to say, Tenet is excellent. I already cannot wait to revisit this movie. I don't know if it'll be in the theaters, but I will be revisiting it, that's for sure. Each new entry in Christopher Nolan's filmography brings a new, original, and awe-inspiring film, and Tenet is no exception. Who knows? These are my top 3 Christopher Nolan movies so far. Currently, as of right now, I'd probably put Tenet in 4th, right behind the top 3 here, but it could definitely move its way up over future viewings. Again, I've only seen the movie once, so that's just an off-the-cuff ranking. If I were to give this movie a rating, I probably would give it a 4 out of 5. If I was to rate it out of 10, I might give it an 8 or an 8.5, but again, I want to see this movie at least one more time before I really give it a proper review and ranking. So, if you enjoyed this video, make sure you drop a like down below. I would appreciate that. If you've seen the movie, share your thoughts down below. Try to keep it spoiler free if you can. If you're gonna talk about spoilers, I would love to, but give that spoiler warning because there's a lot of people out there who have not had the chance to see this movie yet. As far as future content coming to the channel, next week I plan to do a Blu-ray haul for the month of September, and then coming after that we are moving into October. And what I do every October is I go through some kind of horror movie, scary movie topic in one way or another. This year I'm going to be going through some horror movies that I have not seen, some of them classics, a couple more recent, and reacting to them for the first time. It won't be like a traditional reaction in what a lot of YouTubers do, but I'm gonna share some of my thoughts at the beginning of the video of my kind of what I expect of the movie before I go into it, then I'll watch it, come back, and react to the movie after that. So, if you're interested to see my reaction to a couple classic horror movies and that is something you're interested in, definitely click that subscribe button down below so you don't miss out. October is always one of my favorite months for this channel because I get to do something a little bit different. And that's just the beginning. I took advantage of the last week, taking it off, and pretty much plotted out the next 3 or 4 months for the channel, so there's a lot of exciting stuff coming, and I cannot wait to share it with you. So, before I keep rambling on, thank you for sticking around to the end of this video if you've held on for this long. If you have, throw down in the comments your top 3 Christopher Nolan movies. I got mine behind me, and I would be interested to see to hear yours because they're all over the spectrum for a lot of different people. So thank you once again. I look forward to seeing you in the next video, but until then, have a great day. I'll see you in the next one.